The night was meant to be hers, her laughter, her friends, her moment to shine. Emma had been planning her 30th birthday party for weeks. She'd chosen a striking red dress, rented out a private hall, and made sure every person who mattered would be there. Everyone, including him. I hadn't wanted to go. Something deep down warned me it would hurt to stand in that room. But she'd pleaded, "Please, it wouldn't be the same without you." So I went. I smiled for the cameras, wrapped my arm around her when eyes were on us, and pretended everything was fine. But I already knew the truth. I knew she'd been seeing behind my back. I knew how many lies she'd told to keep up the illusion of a happy relationship. And I knew that tonight would be the last time I'd ever play along. From my spot near the bar, I watched her light up the room. She was stunning, confident, radiant, the center of her own celebration. Laughter surrounded her. Glasses clinked in her honor. And I stood quietly in the background, watching her perform the part she perfected. Every smile, every touch felt rehearsed. But I wasn't watching her smile. I was watching her eyes. And every time they flickered toward the tall man by the cake table, my chest tightened. His name was Dylan, her co-worker. She'd mentioned him months ago, too casually. The same Dylan whose name lit up her phone at midnight. The same Dylan who had texted, "Miss you," the night she claimed she was stuck at work. Eventually, she noticed me standing alone. Her heels clicked across the floor, her practiced grin in place. "Why are you so quiet tonight?" she teased, leaning close so no one else could hear. I looked at her, really looked, at the woman I once believed I'd spend forever with. The woman who didn't realize forever had already ended. I took a slow sip of my drink, leaned in, and said softly, "Because I know who you slept with." Her laugh died mid-smile. For a heartbeat, everything around us, the music, the chatter, the laughter, disappeared. She blinked, her face draining of color as her gaze darted toward Dylan, then back to me. Her hand trembled slightly. What are you talking about?" I didn't raise my voice. I didn't need to. "You know exactly what I mean." I said, "Hotel Grand View, room 214, last Saturday." Her entire body went rigid. She tried to play it off, but the shock hit too fast. Her lips parted, ready to deny, but no words came out. Across the room, Dylan had gone pale, too. Our eyes met for a split second, just long enough to confirm everything. Emma swallowed hard, fighting to regain her composure. "Let's not do this here," she whispered, forcing a shaky smile for the crowd. "We'll talk later, okay?" I nodded slowly. "Sure, later." I turned away, signaling for another drink. Around us, the laughter continued. No one realizing her perfect night had just cracked apart. 10 minutes later, she found me on the balcony, her voice trembling. "Jake, please, it's not what you think." I let out a hollow laugh. "Really? Because I think you lied, cheated, and then invited him to your birthday party." Tears welled in her eyes. "It was a mistake. It didn't mean anything." I set my glass down. "Then why lie about working late? Why delete your messages? Why did he call you baby in a voicemail I wasn't supposed to hear?" Her shoulders began to shake. But I felt no pity, only exhaustion. "Please don't do this here," she begged. "Let's go home. We'll talk. I'll explain everything." I gave her a bitter smile. "There's nothing left to explain, Emma. You already made your choice. Tonight, I'm just accepting it." I turned to leave, but she grabbed my arm. "Jake, please," she whispered. "Don't ruin this night." I looked at her, eyes wet and desperate, and said quietly, "You already did." Inside, people were beginning to notice the tension. Dylan looked like he wanted to disappear. Emma wiped her tears, straightened her shoulders, and walked back in, pretending everything was fine, but her hands wouldn't stop shaking. She cut the cake with trembling fingers, her smile brittle. Every flash of a camera captured it. The exact moment her world began to fall apart, though no one else realized it yet, when the party ended. I didn't follow her home. Instead, I took off my wedding ring and left on the bar beside her half-finished glass of champagne. Then I walked out into the cold night, free for the first time in years. My phone buzzed nonstop. Calls, messages, Apologies. I ignored them all. By morning, she was at our apartment door, mascara streaked, eyes red. "Jake, please," she cried. "We can fix this." I opened the door just enough for her to see the packed suitcase behind me. "No, Emma, you can't fix what you broke for fun." Then I closed the door, quietly, firmly, finally. Later, a mutual friend sent me the party photos. In one of them, Emma was laughing beside Dylan, pretending the world hadn't just fallen apart. I deleted them all except one. The picture of me standing in the corner, silent, wearing that half smile that said everything. Because sometimes silence isn't weakness. It's the calm before you walk away for good.